we are. I clicked the wrong button. I don't know what I hit. Hopefully nothing weird will happen. Hey, good Sunday evening. It's a little bit later than what I usually am doing, but sometimes we have to make adjustments and redo things. So I've actually considered moving it to this time, 8:30, and leaving it there. But I don't know. We'll see what next week brings. If I have very many more 8:30 times, we may just make 8:30 the set time. I know some of y'all are jumping on later in the evening. You like to watch later in the evening, so we may just make this a permanent thing. I don't know. We're thinking about it. Well, I hope you had a good weekend. I'm Sandy with Quilted Treasures and More with what's on my crafting table this week. Well, we've done some Christmas stuff. We've been getting ready for a fall festival that's coming up, so we've had lots of Christmas items come across the table so we can have that for the festival. We've had, I call them biz boards. It's actually door hangers that are tailored to businesses, and so I finished up one of those and delivered it this week, and I have another one on my order table or my order list, and so I'm going to be getting started on that this coming week. Let's see, I've done some new pieces, and I haven't officially introduced those yet. If you're in the email newsletter group, then you've been privy to that information and what the collection's going to be called that these pieces will be in, and I'm going to do that soon. I know y'all are thinking, well, tell us about it. I want to, I really do. I really would like to just show y'all the pieces and go, look, these are so cool. But I want to have several done so that way I can really do a big presentation and show them and have the whole screen, not this itty bitty box. And so I'm waiting. So I've got to get a few more together, and then we will present those officially, premiere those, launch those, introduce those, however you want to say it. All right, so what is on the crafting table tonight? We are looking at Christmas. Now, I do have some turkey stuff if you are looking for Thanksgiving items. I do have Tom the turkey, and then I do have Happy Thanksgiving. It's a round that has a turkey on it, and I also have a turkey face if you just want the face of a turkey. I do have one that says Gobble Till You Wobble, and I do have something about Black Friday and gobble and then shop. Gather, gobble, shop, something like that. Anyway, so if you're looking for a Thanksgiving door hanger or just a hanger for the wall, I've seen quite a few that have taken the door hangers and either had them sized down a little bit and they hang them on their wall, or that's actually where I ended up getting the easel art idea from. Those are usually 14 inches and they just sit on either a plate stand or an easel, and so that's where I got the easel art idea from. Let's see. Oh, new items. Some of you know about the little wood items that, well, some of them aren't so little, but wood items that we also have in the shop, like the tea light boxes and the little trinket boxes. My husband actually does those, and so he's been working on Christmas. You may have seen my post that showed the Christmas tree one. So he's got some snowflakes and Christmas trees, and he does have a nativity tea light, and so he's been putting those together, and I am going to get pictures and get those coming up on the Facebook page and the website this week. So lots of things going on around the old crafting table here last week, this week, and the weeks to come. Also working on some ornaments. So, and you may be thinking, ornaments? Yes, ornaments. So we are doing some wood ornaments this year, and we've got a few different ideas. So I've got one idea that I've started, and I have a second idea that I'm getting ready to start. And then Billy, my husband, has an idea for an ornament, and he's going to be working on that, hopefully, probably toward the end of this week, maybe next weekend. So, but we'll be showing all kinds of things on the Facebook page and on the adding things to the website. So just keep checking daily. That's all I'm gonna say. Just keep checking daily, because there'll be lots of stuff going on. All right, well, I'm gonna get started on this. We can chit chat more while I'm painting. This is Merry Christmas. You can read that. You can see the snowflake. It's actually a piece of started to say piece of wood. Bonk, bonk. Yes, it's a slice of log. That's what I was trying to say. A slice of log. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and in the live you can't do a take two and start over. So anyway. Oh man, I do that with my art lessons. So the art lessons are all pre-recorded lessons for the kids' art club. And so when it just all goes wrong, it's like, take two. And we just go for it again. So you don't do that on the live. You just keep rolling, roll with the flow. All right, so this is a wood slice. And it says Merry Christmas. It has a snowflake. But I am going to do buffalo plaid on this one. So y'all get to watch me do some buffalo plaid tonight. So I am going to start with, let's see, do I want to start with, I'm going to start with the buffalo plaid. So we're going to start with our red. And this is one of those that I probably will not finish while I'm on the live. I'll finish it up and then show y'all the end result once I've gotten it done. But while I'm working on it, and something seems funky with my lights here. What is going on? Did that do it? I think that did it. Okay. I had a shadow somewhere, and I don't know where the shadow is coming from. Maybe it's from that light. Okay. Oh, the red. Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Start my time-lapse video, and I am just going to go, I'm not going to go over the snowflake with the red, which is going to be a little interesting. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to go over the snowflake with the red now that I think about it. This could get interesting. I hadn't really thought that through before I got started, and I made the choice to do this buffalo plaid. You know, sometimes when you're doing projects, whether it's painting or if you're, doing things around the house, some of that good old trial and error, you try it, step back, look at it, and go, no. And then you start over again. So sometimes when doing door hangers or other pieces, you have an idea, you see it in your head, you get going on it, and you're thinking, this just really isn't turning out the way I thought it would. And so we grab the white paint and we start again. So this is just a true red that I am putting on at the moment. And this is, you're probably thinking, well, that's going to be a lot of fun to cover with that snowflake. Yes, it is. But you know what? It's faster to do this than it is to go all the way around it. And I started to go all the way around it, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to be here all night long if I sit here and go all the way around the snowflake, because there is some pretty, come out of there. There are some pretty small spaces in this little snowflake. So we're just going to work with it like this and see what happens. You know, it's kind of crazy because sometimes I have covered up letters and designs like this in darker colors, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And then get to going with it and discover, oh, that wasn't so bad. So we'll see. This looks like an orangey red, y'all. I just realized what that looks like on camera. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's called True Red. It's like it's a Christmas red. Oh my goodness. What's that little thing on rear view mirrors or side mirrors? Oh no, that's objects may appear closer than they seem. Or objects may be closer than they appear. Objects may not be the color that they appear. And this would be one of them. This is a true red. It looks like my shirt. It does not look like that with this camera. Oh my goodness. I've tried a couple of different camera setups, and one of them I had to change because it got to a point where it was hesitating so badly. It about drove me nuts, and so changed from that one to this one, and this one has seemed to do pretty well, except it does not get the colors right. I've had some really pretty colors on some door hangers and thought, that is not the color that shows up on that camera. And I've been thinking about changing programs of what I use for doing my lives, and it's kind of crazy because I was actually looking at it a while ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot how much work I have done into doing this little setup that I have. And so when when I got to looking at the new program, I thought, oh my. So we are just sticking with the tried and true program, with the ones that sometimes it's just easier not to change, you know. Sometimes it's easier not to upgrade. When it comes to technology, I think we all fall in that category of, ooh, new, shiny. More gadgets, more apps, more whiz-bang stuff. And then we get into it and we're thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? So there's a lot of cool little things that you can do with the other program that I've looked at, but I don't know. I keep going back and forth. One day I'm like, no, I don't really want to change. The next day I'm like, oh, but it would be so nice if I had this feature or that feature, or I could do this, or everything was on one screen, because actually I flip-flop back and forth between two screens. So, but the technology is changing in technology is one of the things that I get comfortable with one phone or one tablet or one whatever computer, and it's like, yes, this one may have more RAM or a bigger hard drive or more space or faster processor or a bigger screen. But it's the whole process of changing it all over, you know. And yes, we've got the glorious cloud that, you know, helps us all, but this is why I keep phones and computers and tablets and things like that until they just absolutely positively, you know, kick the bucket. This is why I hang on to them as long as I do, because changing all the technology can be irritating at sometimes. Alright, now I'm going to blow dry this real quick, And then we are going to get started on Buffalo Plaid, which is going to be the black and baby wipes and the frog tape. So I've got my frog tape here, my black paint here, and baby wipes here. I keep them sitting down here underneath my table. I try to keep them handy. They don't always stay where they're supposed to be. We won't call any names. But periodically they disappear. Because of other crafty projects that are going on in the house. Y'all don't tell him I said his name. This dry just a little bit. The Paint Party Box Christmas Edition is coming up soon, and you may be wondering, what's the Paint Party Box Christmas Edition? Well, the Paint Party Box is a blank, so it's actually the wood version, the plain, not base coated version of a door hanger. And what I do is I put all the paints that you would need to paint it a certain way. I include a picture. I include sometimes some little extra goodies. And usually I'll throw in a pack of paintbrushes. And what I do is, I started this last year. I did the Paint Party Box, the Christmas gift edition is what I should be calling it. Don't need that. I need this. The Christmas gift edition is set so that you can give it at Christmas parties where you have the gift exchange, and usually it's like a $20 limit. And so I've got it set at that special price. So that way, just realize I have that very crooked. I need to be centering it with, or lining it up with my, the point of my snowflake here. And somehow I got it turned sideways. Alright, well I'm going to start the first one there. I'm not going to start dead in the center. We're going to go up and then come back down. So anyway, the Paint Party Box, the Christmas gift edition. I'm going to be revealing... Really? Did I just do that? Okay, well I'll hold you for just a minute. I'll be revealing it in the weeks ahead, because that will be available through the month of November. And possibly, depending upon how many orders I have, possibly the first week of December. Most of the time, by the time we get to the first week of December, things have been purchased for parties. Parties are set. You know, parties usually are getting on the calendar even this time of year. Okay, don't be doing that. You do that and I'll get paint in the wrong place. It's poking up on one side for some reason. Alright, there we go, much better. When you're doing buffalo plaid, make sure you get the edges down. Because if you don't, it's not wanting to stick, y'all. I've never had my frog tape not do that. I might have to get another piece. Normally frog tape is really good about sticking. Oh, I'm pulling off another piece. And, oh well. Oh well. I got a piece over here on the side that I pulled off a while ago. Alright, make sure it's all down. That's my guide, by the way, to make sure I space them correctly. I'm going to put him there. I've got my other piece over here that I'm going to hang on to. All right, now I am just going to turn it where I'm working north to south, up to down. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put black paint in the lid of my egg carton. And I'm going to get a baby wipe. I think I am. I am. Being a little stubborn there. Didn't want to come out of the package. Alright, so I'm going to get a baby wipe. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with my baby wipe on the areas. I'm going to dab off just a little bit. Well, you know what? I take that back. I was going to start on the very edge, but I'm actually going to start here. And then I'm going to come back and get that little edge over there. Alright, now the buffalo plaid, the reason why we do it with baby wipe is so that we can kind of get a, I don't want to call it a wiped off look, it's like a sheer or a material look. That part, well, that part's supposed to be a lighter brown color, so I'm going to have to wipe that off. Nice thing about using a baby wipe is that you can wipe it off where you get it when you get it places you don't want it to be. So I'm going to go over this one more time, make it just a little bit darker. I still want some of the red to show through, but I do want it to be a little bit darker black than what I'll be doing going the other way. I know some of you are thinking, you're using a baby wipe to paint with. Yes. I love the way it makes it look. See-through. And I like to do this on some of the shiplap stuff. Actually, I think I have done shiplap on my live before and showed how I use a baby wipe to get it squared away and accomplished. Or accomplished. I did not have any caffeine before I started the live, but I'm wondering if maybe I should have. It would have created a little more focus. Sometimes. Who's got a caffeine beverage this evening? Who's got seasonal beverages going on right now? It's that time of the year. I've been to some of those specialty places, picking up on the fall favorites. Go ahead, you can tell me yes in the comments. I won't judge. There was one place that had a peppermint hot chocolate, and last year they didn't bother to put it on the menu. I'm not going to say their name, but you know. It wasn't one of the specialty drink companies, we'll say that. I think I might have to start over with new tape. I'm not sure why this one didn't want to stick too well. Alright, so our first layer coming up, and you can see our stripes, the beginning of our buffalo plaid. So now we're going to turn the other direction, and we're going to go this way. Oh, after I dry it. I always want to dry it just a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly dry, but you don't want to stick your tape right back down on wet stripes. And with the way we do it with the baby wipes, it doesn't take it very long to dry. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit there for just a second and cool off. And then we're going to see, this will probably fit down here. Yeah, so I'll hold that one for down there. We'll get one going across, let's say just about the middle. I didn't really do the middle going from top to bottom, but we'll do the middle from side to side. Yep, gotta measure my space. Doesn't seem to take long for my measuring. Whoop. Hold that thought. Okay, and then that one. Nope, can't get that one there. Alright, stick that in my stash. Fix my tape so that way it won't be messed up the next time I need to use it. Alright, ta-da! Okay, now press this down real good, both sides, make sure they're good to go. And I'm going to turn it back around so that I can go from north to south, and I'm going to flip my baby wipe around and use the other side. So I'm going to start over here, and because I'm not going the entire length of my piece here, I am just lightly going around the edge first. And sometimes if you think, oh, it's gotten too thin, you can kind of go the opposite direction of what you were doing, and it'll even it back out. Sometimes you just have to re-dip the baby wipe in paint and go for it again. Flip it over this way, see if I can see that a little better. Yeah. It just kind of clumped up right there, and I was trying to make sure you can see where it darkens up. Have to get it in the light just right. May have to do several coats of white in order to get my letters and my snowflake back. But that's okay. It's all part of the process. I was talking about the paint party box. It will not be a Christmas door hanger. It will be something that they can do after the first of the year, because by the time you give it to them for Christmas, then of course, it'll be Christmas. So you don't want to give them a Christmas door hanger to paint. And they can't use it until the following year. So I'm trying to decide on whether to do a generic or whether to do another winter theme. Last year I did a snowman, cute little snowman. I had a lot of fun with that snowman. But I'm trying to decide if maybe this year just to go with something kind of generic. And when I say generic, I mean something that could be used year-round, basically. That wouldn't necessarily have a seasonal look to it. So I got my hair pulled back. I just realized it kind of looks like I shaved the side of my head. I did not. It's just pulled back. Even though there have been times in the summer heat where I've thought about, hey, just to, get cooler. All right, I'm going to do my best not to get another baby wipe. Doesn't always work out that way, but I'm just going to try to get this one section done. And if I can pull it off. I'm pulling up my color. Okay. Sometimes you just have to say enough, quit playing with it, and go with what you got. All right, ta-da! There is the buffalo plaid. And now, I'm going to baby wipe and get all the yucky off my fingers. And then we'll move on. We'll get our wood slice, our log slice, done around the edge, and then we'll come back and we'll take care of the letters and the snowflake. And like I said, may not get it all finished out, but we will get the majority of it so that way you can see what it looks like, and then I'll add the final touches and post pictures this week, so that way you can see what it looks like when it's all finished. All right, so we're going to go with a honey brown, and you'll see what I'm going to do here in just a second. I am going to actually do a couple of different colors, but I'm going to start with this one, and I'm just going to do the whole outer ring in this color to begin with. If you're hanging out with me and you are enjoying one of the seasonal beverages, let me know which one and where you got it from. Sometimes I'll get adventurous and try something for the season. Peppermint hot chocolate, like I said, I got addicted to it, and then lo and behold, bless goodness, they didn't even bother to bring it back last year. I was so agitated. Of course, part of me was actually pretty thankful because, That adds up when you start making trips more than once a week to get a peppermint hot chocolate. Especially if you could just, grab a peppermint stick and, oh, face it, it doesn't taste the same. It just don't taste the same. I know it sounds like it would, but it doesn't. And if you're asking me, well, how would you know? I tried it, okay? It didn't taste the same. I'm sorry. Also in the comments, and even if you're watching the replay, you can still comment on this. Just put hashtag replay and then tell me what you think. Should I do a winter themed Christmas gift edition paint party box? Or should I do we'll call it a year-round or anytime theme? Ooh, I like that. I may be rethinking my first thought process here. I really do like that color. Oh, wow. That turned out totally different than what I thought it was going to be. Let's see here. We may be rethinking what we're going to do next, because I actually was going to... Okay, let me dry this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to use the darker brown around the edge, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one more coat of the color Honey Brown. And then I'm going to use a very little bit. Oh my gosh, it almost looks like a pie. With the lattice work on it, especially when you turn it certain ways, it looks like a pie. It's not a pie. It's one thing I keep thinking about with the holidays. Oh, all the goodies. All right, one more coat of the Honey Brown. And then I'm going to do a little bit of what I thought about doing before. I'm not going to do as much as I had planned, because like I said, this color turned out a lot better than what I thought. And so I'm really liking this lighter brown color up against this plaid. But I still want there to be a distinction between the lighter part of the wood and the bark. So I'm thinking I'm still going to do my idea, but I'm just going to scale it back, and it's not going to be as much as I had planned. But I really, really do like the way these colors are looking. I could actually do a couple of things. Y'all like doing behind the scenes. Maybe I should rename this from What's on My Crafting Table to What's in Sandy's Head. Because that's about what you're getting when I'm sitting here and I'm talking to y'all. I'm actually thinking out loud sometimes as I'm going through this, because I start with a thought, an idea, and then sometimes it changes halfway through the process. But I was going to do a pretty thick line of the darker color, but now I'm thinking I may do a thin line around the edge and then just do some age lines. That's too big. I need this green. Okay. Green brush, not green paint, green brush. Okay, so, Oh, touchy. Let's dry this real quick. Set that so it doesn't fall off anywhere. I'm telling y'all, when you turn it and the buffalo plat is kind of like at a lattice work look, it really does remind me of a pie. It's a weird shaped pie. Say it was the first attempt at pie making, okay? Y'all show some love. But it's not a pie. It's a wood slice. All right. So here we go. I am just going to take and run around the edge. So I'm going to make this a thinner line than what I had planned on before. Before I was going to do a pretty thick line. We're just going to do a thin line. You may be looking at going, well, that's not really a thin line. It's thinner than what I had planned on. Because what I had planned to do was a pretty good coverage of the darker brown. It's called chocolate brown. So I'm just going around the outer edge with the chocolate brown. I'm going to leave that lighter honey brown color as the main color. And there's something else I could have done with this. I could have shaded the darker. So if you see it tomorrow and it has changed, you'll know that I changed my mind and decided to go back and shade it after we got off camera. There have been some times where I have changed some things after I have done them on camera. I'm like, oh, you know what? It'd really look better if I did, and I'll change it up. All right, so I'm thinking about adding some ring lines or age lines to this part, but I don't want to overdo, so I'm going to hold off on that. Right now, what I'm going to work on is the Merry Christmas, and I think I'm going to start with, and you may think I'm weird for doing this, I'm going to start with, or maybe not, I'm thinking that one is like empty. I'm going to start with buttermilk. It's off-white. And I'm going to do the Merry Christmas in the buttermilk. And I may do the snowflake in the buttermilk. And the reason why, buttermilk has a better coverage than white does a lot of times. So if I start with this and then come back and do the white over it, or I may just use the buttermilk since I do have brown. And you might be thinking, a buttermilk snowflake? Well, there's actually something else I have planned for the snowflake. So We'll get to that in just a little bit. For the moment, I am just going to go over the letters. And like I said, I'm using buttermilk. It might actually work better color-wise with the browns than if I use the bold white. But we'll see how it looks when I get the first coat on. You can comment and tell me whether you like the buttermilk or white better, if you think the white would look better. As I said, I'm just using this as a base coat at the moment to cover up all the darker colors. I'm going to flip it upside down. I know that looks a little weird. But I've discovered sometimes I can do letters easier, and that probably doesn't make sense either. If I'm keeping all my strokes close, and what I mean by close is not having to reach way up here, but keeping them close, and also working on downstrokes rather than, you don't really paint, or you don't really write letters when you're painting. You're painting letters, and I know that probably makes no sense. It didn't make sense to me when I first heard somebody say that. You don't paint letter, or you don't write letters, you paint letters. And so it becomes strokes rather than pretending like your brush is a pen or a pencil. Alright, so there's the first coat on Mary. Flip that around so you can see it. And we shall get started on Christmas. Again, if you've got a preference, throw in whether it's buttermilk or white that you think the letters would be a better color in. Like I said, I'm just doing buttermilk because I want to get darker colors covered. Oh no, the H did not separate. Uh-oh. I just realized that after I covered it up. I can fix it. I'll just come back and put a little dash of black in there and make a center for it. It's just like I don't have a dot for the eye. Not sure what happened. Sometimes when you have cut files going to a machine, sometimes I've noticed if it has a little bit of variation to it, it won't see it as a cut. It just kind of skips over it, which is irritating when you get to this point and you're, looking at so much percentage of completion, and you're like, great, it's missing such and such. But it's funny, after you do lettering or do certain shapes or certain accent marks, after a certain length of time, you just get to a point where you're like, oh, I'll just add that in. I mentioned that I have a new program that I'm working with, and that I'm working on designing my own door hangers. Still getting templates, still getting the template bundle because I love those. But I am doing some designing on my own, and this was actually one that that I came up with after seeing. It's kind of funny. It was a watch band. After I saw the watch band, I was like, "Ooh, that would be a really cool." So I sat down and I did not copy the watch band identical, but it was the inspiration for the colors and the buffalo plaid in this one. But that's been a lot of fun trying to, or getting to learn, because that's something I wanted to start doing last fall. And, when you're just getting started into something new and you're trying to learn all there is to learn, I quickly realized I have no time, and my brain was just, you know, only so much capacity could be squeezed out of learning X number of new things. So I decided that I would wait, and I really, to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking about, oh, hey, I think I'll try doing this now. I actually hadn't thought about doing the designing thing in a while, and um, I don't even remember what day of the week it was. It just all of a sudden popped up. Hey, conversation took place, and next thing you know, I had the program and started playing around with it. And I don't know everything there is to know about the little program I bought, but I'm learning. Matter of fact, earlier this evening, I was actually uh, listening in on a class for the little program. So I'm excited to get to do some things that'll be different from some of the other stuff that's out in the market of door hangers and other home decor items. The writing is kind of funny because I actually did the writing on this one, the lettering on this one, and I don't know. It was one of those ones I kept looking at it going, I don't know, maybe I should just erase it and start all over. And Billy, my husband, kept saying, well, I don't really see anything wrong with it. And guys, bless their hearts, you just want to go, so are you saying there's nothing wrong with it, or are you just kind of sort of, you know, just saying there's nothing wrong with it to say something? To not hurt my feelings, or, have me redo the work. I say guys are funny, but us gals are funny too, because we're always going, is there a hidden meaning in that? Do I need to pull out my decoder ring? I set this camera up quickly and I'm just realizing it's more like a top of the head shot, and the bright light, I don't know what's going on. My hair looks like it is solid white or something. I'm going, okay, next week I gotta find a different place for this camera. My workspace camera stays in the same place each week, but the camera that I call the front camera, which is the camera that has me in the top corner there, that one gets moved back and forth. And I did have it moved further away for a number of weeks, but then I had to move it closer because of a cord. And since I had to move it closer, I don't know, I just keep fighting with the camera angle. And between the light and my hair being pulled back, I don't know, it just looks weird. Y'all, I'm doing a second coat of this buttermilk like I've decided this is going to be the color. And I still, I don't know, I can't make up my mind. I may have to sleep on it. Yes, sometimes I do sleep on things before I finish a piece. Sometimes it's better, especially if you get frustrated, it is better to walk away and come back and look at it in the morning. Because I have walked away some evenings after being on live or just working on an order and thought, no, that ain't gonna work. And I come back the next morning and look at it and go, huh, you know what? That really looks good that way. Sometimes I think we just look at things, we stare at things too long and we lose. I guess it's kind of like what I was saying with us looking for the hidden meaning. I think we reach a point where we're searching for all the things that are wrong with it. I don't know, boys and girls. We may be leaving that one like it is. Alright, now I'm going to have the fun part of trying to get I'm going to run the buttermilk on this one, as on the snowflake as well. Just because, like I said, it covers a little better than the white. And I really got to get the darker colors covered up. So I probably won't go over this twice with the buttermilk. We'll see. I have some glitter paint, and I thought about putting it on top. It's called Galaxy Glitter. I've used it a few times on things. It does not show up well in pictures. That's the only bad thing. I even got out in the sunshine with a canvas I did. Y'all may remember that. It's been a little ways back. I did a canvas and I put Galaxy Glitter on it. And waited for the sun to come out the next day. It was a cloudy day. Walked out, took pictures, and come back in, looked at the pictures, and I'm like, you can't tell anything about any glitter being on that canvas. I was so disappointed. Because when you look at it and the light hits it, it's so pretty. All the little sparkles. but you cannot see it in a picture. I added the same glitter paint to the Let Freedom ring for the stars. I added it to the stars on my Let Freedom ring door hanger. And none of the pictures show that the stars are glittery and sparkly. It's frustrating. It's another one of those technology things that I fuss about. All these whiz-bang gadgets. And it won't pick up the glitter. I'm trying, oh, really? Just about to say, I'm trying to stay out of the paint here because I don't want to stick my finger in the wet paint. And then what do? I stick my finger in the snowflake paint. I like to have an anchor, and so I like to put my pinky on the board. This is also how I've managed to get paint on my arm. Still don't know how I got paint all in between my eyes and my eyebrow that time. My daughter found that one. I was doing something, making a sandwich, or anyway, she thought I had cheese between my eyes. She's like, "Do you have cheese on your face?" I'm like, "What?" She looks, she says, "No, that's paint." I'm like, "Paint? How did paint get between my eyes?" Hey, there's some of us that are just really talented, okay? Really, really talented. I've talked about that ability before, you know. Choking on air, falling upstairs, tripping on nothing. I am that talented person. So getting paint between my eyes and on my arm and my elbow and everywhere else is not really that shocking. Alright, so once I finish this with the buttermilk, I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to go over it one time with the white and see what it looks like. And then I may add one more. Oh, I forgot my, I knew that looked weird. I was like, why does that look so strange? I forgot the other part of my snowflake there. I may leave the words in the buttermilk color and do the snowflake in the white color, so that way it's not all white in the center. We'll see what it looks like after I get the coat of white on the snowflake. Phew! All right. Well, now you can see it's starting to come together. And what I'm going to do is rinse this brush. And I'm going to get some white and see what it looks like. Ah! I dropped the white. I'm running, you can tell I've been doing a lot of base coating. I'm almost out of the white in that bottle. And so I have another bottle, but I have been putting off switching them out to get the very last out of this bottle. Oh, and as I'm painting this, I'm already thinking, I may not do the other thing that I thought about doing to the snowflakes either. It may be just the way it's supposed to be, with just a white snowflake in the center. I had a thought that I was going to do, but maybe we'll save it for an ornament. We'll just let there be a bright white snowflake here. It'll take a couple of coats because as it dries, putting it on, it's really bright white, but as it dries, you'll start to see some of the buttermilk come through. Unless I mess around and stick the paintbrush back in the buttermilk, and then buttermilk will be on top. Good grief. It's almost that time of year for all the shows to come on, all of the lifelong favorites. I can't believe we're 1 week away from Halloween. You know, with that being said, I just realized next week will probably be a late live as well, because it is Halloween. Maybe I should do it at midnight. Who wants to do a midnight paint session? Everybody has to get up and go to work Monday. There won't be anybody hanging out at midnight. Unless they're like me some nights and just can't get to sleep. And then you're sitting up at midnight. Last night was one of those nights I could not get to sleep, so I laid in bed with plugs in my ears, connected to my telephone. watching watching TV shows. You know, I love glitter and stuff, and I love door hangers that are sparkly and full of, you know, just the detail and stuff, but I really am thinking that this one may just be very simple. Sometimes I think sometimes I think simple is good. Sometimes I think simple is good. Yeah, we're starting to see some of the buttermilk come through the white, so there'll have to be a second coat added to this. But we are definitely going to go with the white on the snowflake and not the buttermilk. Ah, there's one more thing I was going to tell y'all about. I am going to do a Black Friday special for the Kids Art Club. And what it will be is gift subscriptions. And I'll have more info in the days ahead on that. But just to give you a heads up, if you have a niece or nephew, grandchild, child, someone that you buy gifts for, and they love art, then I'm going to be doing a Black Friday special with the Kids Art Club boxes. Okay, so I'm going to let the white dry really well, and it'll have to have another coat on it. The Merry Christmas I may leave in our buttermilk color. What I'm going to do real quick is take my paint pen and I'm going to clean up the edge here around the Merry Christmas. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go add some ring lines, and that's where we're going to stop for the night. And what I'm going to do is add the finishing details, and I'll be posting pictures so you can see what it looks like when it's completed. But I do like to get it to where you can see pretty much where everything goes and how it looks, and then I just kind of spruce it up with the highlights and some of the minor details that just kind of add a little pop to it, a little extra. Now I could take the paint pen and just add the lines, but I really wanted to do it with the dark brown, the chocolate brown. That way it kind of ties in with the rest of the ring there. I was like, oh where'd my little blue, where did my little blue brush go? I love this little blue brush. It's tiny, it's round, it's a tiny round brush, and I really do like it whenever I'm trying to do something really small details. It's my favorite. I have a few favorites, and I had one that was a favorite angle brush, and it broke. I taped it back together. That was, you know, how crazy that was. Because I was like, I am not losing my favorite brush. So we're just going to go in and just add some lines here. Like I said, just a few of the details. Just to give you an idea of what I was thinking when I put this one together. Sometimes I like to go back to where I started and kind of get rid of that little, I call it a beginning bubble. I can also take some buttermilk and add into these lines as well to give it a little variation with color and to break up some of the darkness. I mean, if you look, we really do have a lot of dark colors here. So just kind of making my way around the ring and just adding a few lines. And again, as far as the extra details go, I said buttermilk. I could add some white lines in with the brown, the darker brown. Could go back and touch up and make them a little more defined, or I could go over them with the honey brown and fade them some. All right, y'all, I really am trying to find a stopping place here for the night, and I keep going, oh, we could add a little bit of this, and we could add a little bit of that. So I'm just going to add a few of these white buttermilk streaks just to give it a little bit of variation and to knock off some of the, tone down some of the darker color that's in this one. I know we do have white and some buttermilk, and I still may change those words to white. Like I said, if you want to put your vote in, just comment and say white or buttermilk for the letters, for the words. Just adding a little bit to break up the darker color. All right. so we're going to add in a few more little details here and there, and we're going to make a final decision on the letters. I don't know, I keep going back and forth. I kind of like the way the white pops on the snowflake, and the Merry Christmas is not as bright, but it is, it does stand out. So we may leave Merry Christmas in the buttermilk color, and then put one more coat of the white on the snowflake, just so that it's even and stands out, has that really good pop on that buffalo plaid background. All right, watch for new things to be added in this week. Going to get some pictures of the new Christmas tea light boxes, as well as get some pictures of some ornaments, hopefully by the end of the week, and get those on as well. And then, of course, they'll be added to the shop on the website. I hope y'all have a great week. Thank you so much for coming and joining me this evening or tonight and hanging out with me. If you're watching the replay, you can still get on the vote on the letters, and also on the paint party box, the Christmas gift edition, whether it should be a winter theme or if I should go with something more generic or non-seasonal. Let's put it that way, non-seasonal. So that way it could stay up for a longer length of time. All right, thanks so much, y'all.